Celebrity, welcome aboard. Happy Monday. It's good to see you all. I hope you're doing well. G1000 and anything. You can just, Bill, you can just pop the G1000 out and use your fancy little panel to do that. You don't have to have a G1000 for it to work. That's cheating, but you can still do that. Paco Bort, how you doing, my friend? It's good to see you. We're here. We made it through the weekend. It was a busy weekend. Man, what happened? What happened, right? Oh, man. Oh, geez. I can't believe. No, wasn't one of those kind of weekends. We went flying on Saturday. I went up with one of my fellow club members, and I was trying to find people to go flying with on Saturday, and everybody I asked was busy. And I was trying to find new people that I hadn't flown with, and then I was going with people that I hadn't flown with for a while that were really interested, and then I was just about to go down to the people that have flown with me many times that would still be interested, like my friend Boondock if he's around. And then one of my club members is like, "Hey, let's go do some instrument currency. What do you say?" So we did some instrument currency. We hopped in the 172, and we did some instrument currency flights. He did 3 flying out. We had some lunch, and then I did 3 flying back. It was fantastic. I felt real good. I felt real good flying on Saturday. Given that I'm only flying pretty much twice a month, I significantly cut back on the flying, just because of reasons, good reasons, I promise. So I had to cut back on the flying quite a bit, and I make up for it by doing the stuff in the sim. Like the GA Monday nights are especially helpful for a lot of the flying and crap that I'm doing in the real world. And I felt fantastic. Like I felt really good. I felt in control. I felt like I was smooth. I flew the instrument procedures pretty well that I wanted to fly. A couple of little mistakes here and there, but nothing egregious. So it was nice to get up. Maybe hate's a strong word, but I have a strong disliking for our 172. It's just kind of a useless plane now. The Archer holds more, goes faster, and costs the same price. The 182 holds way more, goes quite a bit faster, and is generally more comfortable for me. Our 172 has a seatbelt that is stuck, and they don't go very fast, and they float down the runway forever because they just don't want to land and all that. So, but it's fine, whatever. It's an airplane. It's still fun to go up in an airplane. It's cool. It's also very, very compact when you fly with a guy like me. Thankfully, the dude I went up with is a pretty small dude, so I was able to man spread and take over some of that territory for myself. I'm never busy if you want to fly. Oh yeah, Craig, we'll gotta get you up someday. I'll get in touch with you soon, and we'll go for it. Maybe what we can do is meet up with you, grab you, and then go grab this You're Not Found, and then go up and have breakfast with Eagle 11 or something. We'll get the whole New England Twitch crew together. It'll be a good time. GA Monday is the best, dude. I love Friday nights, don't get me wrong, because the Friday nights are like, it's the end of the week, we're having a good time, we're just gonna kind of kick back and do some fun stuff. But I way prefer flying general aviation in a sim. I've definitely gotten to a point, especially since I got my instrument rating, and just over the last probably year and a half, where like this is the kind of flying that I'm mostly interested in doing. But it's nice to have a healthy mix. Like, it's still fun to go up in the airliners and do all the fun stuff and this and that. So yeah, just popped in to say happy Monday. Be watching the Seahawks game. Catch the vid tomorrow. All good, Space Dandy. Happy Monday. Enjoy your game. Hope your team wins. Go team, go. Rah, rah, rah. Yeah, it'd be a good time, right, Eagle? Yeah, we'll go up to Sanford and grab some breakfast or something. I don't know. Hell, we grab the 182. Well, actually, I don't know about the 182. I don't know if we'd all fit in that. we might eventually run into some weight and balance issues there. But yeah, happy Veterans Day as well. Yes, absolutely. I'm not a veteran. However, many of my good friends from school served, and family have served, and everybody else. So I Veterans Day is kind of weird, because I've heard veterans who have said, I don't like it because I have survivors. I actually heard about this today. I don't like it because I have survivor's guilt. And I'm like, well, a perfectly valid thing to say. And then other people that, there's other folks that don't like the hero worship and this and that, but it's still, it's still good to remember those who served and all that. I definitely have a crazy amount of respect for my buddies who went into the service and went in at really a not great time. We graduated high school in 2003. So that's sort of as things over in the Middle East were really starting to ramp up. And I know my buddies saw some things that they probably would have rather not seen. Although one guy was a member of or is still in the military, a member of a tank corps, a tank division. And I think he served I think he did 4 or 5 tours in Iraq. Like he rather enjoyed all of that. I don't know what parts of it he enjoyed. I think he just liked the adventure. I'm not really sure. It sounded terrifying, but yeah. And so what is it? What's the deal in Canada? I know Canada. I've heard people talking about the poppies and whatnot in Canada. Is it the same thing? Like, is it a Veterans Day type of thing up there as well, or is it another holiday? Because I know that in the U.S. we have holidays that, like, there's U.S. holidays that seem to weirdly line up with other types of Canadian holidays, and I'm not sure if that's just like business reasons or what. Matthew C, good to see you, man. Just make Max take you. Nah, it's all good, man. Some people got hooked. Adrenaline and is a hell of a drug. Yeah, that's true. He took a bunch of pictures. He came back with a bunch of weird pictures, stuff like that. I'm like, dude, this is interesting. So yeah, made it through the weekend. So yeah, I went flying on Saturday, and then Saturday evening, what did we do Saturday evening? I think we went to. My wife had no. I don't remember what happened Saturday evening. Must have been a good time. I think we went out to dinner with some family. We had our big annual Christmas cousins gathering at one of my wife's cousin's house, and probably 15-20 people showed up for that. So that was a good time. And then Sunday we had a dinner or lunch thing yesterday, and then my wife had a thing, so I stayed home and played. I played the Xbox all night. I'm very, very, very deep into the Outer Worlds, and I'm still loving the hell out of that game. I think I'm about 20 hours into it right now. And it's quite good. I also got my Xbox Elite version 2 controller on Friday as well, so I was playing around with that. Very nice controller. I'm not really sure it's worth the money, but it does feel real good. I like the fact that you can adjust the torque on the sticks, so you can make the sticks tighter. Because one of my problems with the Xbox One controllers is that the sticks were real, like, kind of loose. Not loose in the sense that they were drifting and all that. It's just it didn't take a lot of pressure to move them, and I like a little bit more resistance on them. Sorcerer Dave, how you doing, my friend? I know a chap who's in the Royal Tank Regiment, and he's obsessed. Tankers are peculiar fellows. Yeah, I think that might be it. My ship was a co-ed crew. There was always a rash of births a few months after we got back to port. I could see that too. Phoenix 93, what's going on, my friend? It's good to see you. Just wrapped up a flight from Nashville to Denver and to flying into PD coverage. I think I might have gotten kicked off the network while descending via the rival. What? Did you not call up approach or call up center and whatnot? Did you figure out what's going on with that? Celtic Arm says he misses his tank. Yeah, I have. So some of my older family were also tankers, and yeah, I guess it's a certain kind of person that gets. What was that? Nope. Stop. That was the wrong button. Certain kind of person that gets involved with that and enjoys that, and more power to him. And a couple of my friends that went into the military, really, I don't think they had a lot of opportunities. And serving the time allowed them to open up the possibilities and the prospects of their life, and really give themselves a better position following college. Not all of us were fortunate enough to have scholarships and the means and all that to go into college immediately after high school. So it was nice. It was nice. It was a good thing for some people. Max, thanks for the host, my friend. Hello, everybody from Max's stream. It's good to see you guys. Cheers. We're just getting started tonight. You're gonna go from the Vision Jet to something a little bit slower. I think the passenger count's about the same. We can get 4 in this thing. You can get 4 in the Vision Jet, right? Maybe 5. Cheers, guys. It's good to see you. Peter Pilot, what's going on? Thanks again, Max. Thought I missed a handoff to approach and they wouldn't respond once I figured it out. Checked out the connection. I was disconnected. Interesting. I would reach out and see what happened. Captain Obvious, is this PMDG? Close enough. We're just talking about the weekend and the flying. We're talking about Veterans Day and, you know, a bunch of my friends growing up and this and that. And just kind of staring. GA hype indeed. We're just kind of staring at the wilderness here. The wilderness of Idaho. Never mind the crappy textures there. I would get better zoom level scenery out here, but it's really just not worth it at this point. Like I may as well suffer through what I have because good things are on the horizon. We got more emails. Still no alpha client. Dash 8, mate. It's good to see you.
Identifies as a fighter.
My plane identifies as a fighter, says Anthrax. Thanks for the bits, man. K-Fly17, is that red wine? You bet it is. It's my homemade Cabernet. We crushed it and fermented it last year, and it sat until, I think this stuff sat until probably July or August before we finally started drinking it. Maybe it was a little early in the summer, but yeah, I'm going through the first. We're just about done with the first 5 gallons of last year's wine, and there's like I don't know, 20 or so to go. So we didn't make wine this year though. We decided to take a year off, just with the baby and life being the way that it was and everything else. Didn't really think we had the time or the resources to jump in and do something like that. It's good to see you, Max. Happy Monday. Did you drive? Welcome aboard. Happy Monday. Coast Pilot. How you doing, Jeremy? Oh, hey. That looks like a T6 to me. You're going to be a little fast for this flight. Everybody's grabbing that T6 by is it Flight Design? T6 Flight Advantage. Sorry, the Flight Advantage T6. I'll be flying this eventually. Strategic flying or strategic purchase for my day job. But yeah, a bunch of guys in the Discord server have picked up this T6 Texan too. This is actually a trainer actually used by the Air Force to train actual honest-to-God pilots. And a lot of them, from what I understand, pick this up ahead of time before going into school to get their familiarity and all that stuff. So the high price tag is, in a lot of ways, justified for those guys. Like it's a small price tag for a lot of those guys. So yeah, that's apparently, I'm guessing that must be Anthrax. We'll see who rolled up there. Oh yeah, it's Mr. Anthrax. Cajun Cacti, how you doing, my friend? Leftover formula in that wine. Hell no, dude. Baby eats all the formula, I promise. At this point, baby's just an eating machine. She eats, she poops, she eats some more, and then she sleeps for a bit. There's a $12 cockpit poster on Amazon. You could pretty much do the same thing, right? Serious Gamer, how you doing, my friend? S.H. Richards, good to see you, Seth. How you doing, man? Yeah, that's the T6, Seth. That's the one. I mean, not that one, because that's a CSL that's being flown around. But yeah, that's the T6 that we're also going to get also familiar with. Shalimar 2, how you doing? Sundowner, you better take care if I find you creeping around my back stairs. I don't know what that means. I hope that's not offensive. Hey, Woods, good to see you. My friend Nader here. Welcome aboard. Hope you guys are all doing well. Yeah, we'll say some thank yous, and we'll talk about the airplane, and we'll go do some flights. It's probably gonna be a little short one tonight. There's it's a GA plane. It's a fairly. I don't want to use the word basic because that sounds derogatory towards the airplane, but it's not a very complex airframe. So I have not yet flown this thing either. So we'll see if we can figure it out. We got the developer in the chat here though, Goran from Leading Edge Simulations. Hi, Goran. Wonderful gentleman. Also did the texturing and the model. Or is it just the texturing or was it modeling as well? He did the texturing work for the Hot Start TBM. So that was cool. St. Wolfric, welcome aboard. It's good to see you. There's Goran. How you doing, my friend? Captain Bill, welcome aboard. No work for me today here in Australia. The whole state's on fire. I see. Textures and model for the C23 and the TBM, he says. Fantastic. We'll talk about the plane here in a second, though. Let me say some thank yous, and we'll get the show going. Josh Gibbs, what's going on, man? Josh, I saw you streaming yesterday. It was good to see you live. I didn't get a chance to stop in, though. I was, I was busy. The baby didn't take her afternoon nap, which is when I could have jumped in and said hello. But it was good to see you stream it, man. And I forgot to say, Josh, I forgot to thank you on publicly live for 34 months. So we'll start off by this. Mr. Gibbs, thank you very much for 34 months of support. I'm sorry that I missed your resub several weeks ago. We'll get 35 here soon enough, I hope. In the meantime, though, we've got Cajun Cacti here for 19 months. Keep it going. Son getting ready to start the CFI. He is almost there. Nice, man. Cheers to him for that. I'm going to start my studying over the holidays. I haven't really jumped into that just yet because my brain power has been dedicated elsewhere, but we're getting there. Thank you very much, Cajun Cacti. Who's next here? Vatsim Flyers here for 14 months. Vatsim Flyer, thank you very much for your continued support. Cheers to you, my friend. I appreciate it. Next up, we got Chevy Rule 727 with the 34 months of support. This stream has been operationally extended. Chevy, thank you very much for your continued support, man. Cheers. Hopefully, well, it's a good thing you don't fly for Envoy. Or do you? Actually, I don't know. I don't know. Who do you fly for? Titanium Druid, thank you very much for 2 months of support. GA Hypey says, thank you very much, Titanium Druid. Cheers to you, my friend. I appreciate it. Scotty Tuhati, welcome to the Beer of the Month. Thank you for your support. Cheers, man. Max, thanks again for the big host with 79 people. Hello, everybody from Citation Max's channel. I hope you're all doing well. Cheers. Anthrax, thank you for the 500 bits. He says, my plane identifies as a fighter. That's actually, it's not too far from the truth, I suppose. That was a good entrance right there with the bit stuff. Thank you very much, man. Cheers. And finally, Dana Vermont here for 30 months. Dana Vermont, thank you very much for your continued support. Cheers. That's good wine. So here we are. We're going to fly this plane. This is the Beechcraft Sundowner C23 by Leading Edge Simulations. I never flew version 1, admittedly. This plane never crossed my radar. And so, first of all, in the interest of full disclosure, I was given a review copy of this airplane. A complimentary copy is what they call it on the X Aviation site. So Cameron reached out to me, asked me if I'd like to take a look at it. I'm like, absolutely. It's a perfect plane to bring out here on a GA Monday. So we're going to look at it. So yeah, Beechcraft. I never flew the original one. It never crossed my radar. I think I almost purchased it a couple of times or thought about it a few times, but I think that might have been during a time when I wasn't doing a lot of GA planes. So we're going to take a look at it tonight. Version 2 has enhancements, FMOD sounds, and AviTab support, and I'm not even sure what else. There's a link if you do !plane. You can go check it out. Please don't fly version 1, says Goran. Duly noted. Somebody, so kind of on that same note, somebody asked about the Mooney in Discord the other day. So I asked I asked Cameron about the Mooney, and he says that I should hold off and fly it soon. So I think we're gonna probably check out the Mooney here, in a few weeks. Check out the Mooney in a few weeks, but today we're gonna fly the Sundowner. I have a route plan for us that is, I think, should be very pretty. We're going to fly through the Idaho backcountry. We're starting off here in Garden Valley, all the way up to McCall Airport. Had a farm. Make a turn up there, and then we're going to fly the first leg VFR, and then we'll fly the second leg. We'll grab an IFR clearance, and then fly IFR down to Boise. And time permitting, we may go do something else after that. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we're going to fly from this airport, Uniform 88, to Mike Yankee Lima, and then make our way down to Boise, Bravo, Oscar, India. Did you drive? Good to see you, man. I remember you all the way from when I watched your archive YouTube videos years ago. Just want to take a moment to thank you for your contributions to hobby flight simulations. Appreciate hearing your stream. God bless you. Well, thank you very much, man. I really do appreciate that. I got to get actually posting the YouTube videos again. That's on my list of things to do once we're done tonight, is to go get a few of those queued up and ready to go. So, a little backcountry flying, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. This is the Leading Edge Beechcraft Sundowner C23. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'm excited. So let's just do this up. First of all, you probably can't hear that. If you listen really closely. There's a clock ticking in the background. It was the first thing I noticed when I fired this up. First thing. Audio Bird XP is F mod wizardry. Yeah, run, says Josh. Get out of here. Yeah, so I was told that there's an iPad option over here. Yep, that I'm not. So I'm guessing this is AviTab, which I don't have installed because I have my tablet I have my literal tablet in front of me. But apparently there's an iPad that you can toggle here. What I didn't see was any sort of load manager. I didn't read the manual either, so I'm a bad person for that. I didn't see if there's any sort of load manager, but I'm flying on FS Economy, so FS Economy loaded us up here. That looks like a prop lever. Is that a prop lever? That's where we're at in the stream today. I think it's a prop lever. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, it's an airplane, and we're gonna fire it up here and see what happens. Like I said, I haven't read any of the manuals. I haven't done anything useful with this. Rotating beacon. Oh, the beacon doesn't make any noise. See, that's the thing. You got the Marchetti by Jay Rowland. His beacon makes noises, and it's really, really annoying. Oh, it's a carb heat. Okay. So full forward is the carb heat on, or is it full back is the carb heat on? I guess we'll find out here in a second. I had a feeling this was going to be a carbureted engine. So we're going to push that all the way forward. We're going to turn on the fuel boost. Yeah. Doot, doot. Would you believe it if I told you that you have to turn the fuel on to be able to turn the airplane on? That's a good engine sound. Where's my instruments at that I care about? I'm looking for oil pressure. Set. Good. All right, avionics can come on. There's no autopilot beep or anything. 1200. Set. I can go to alt. Oh man, that's a good sound. That's why we read manuals. Listen, okay, I have read lots and lots and lots of product manuals. I promise you. I read the rotate manual probably 3 times prior to actually doing anything with that airplane. I have read many of the manuals. I won't say all of them. I've read many of the manuals. And I got to a point to where I pretty much knew the planes well enough. The planes are all very similar that I don't generally have to read the manuals. You can take that for what it is. So yeah. What I do, I need to know the speeds though. I think it's just gonna fly like a Cessna, right? It's probably just gonna fly like a Cessna. Let's see what there is for documentation. Here. While I look for that, you can stare at my daughter. When I had the front page streams earlier this year, I brought my daughter on the stream for a little bit. I gained 6,000 viewers in the time that she was on the stream because I think it changed the thumbnail to be her. She was a good kid that night. Retard. Aircraft, X Aviation, Beechcraft, Sundowner, C23 V2. Documentation. Let's see here. Normal procedures probably. Wide open at edge. Climb, climb, climb. Nope. POH is going to have it though, right? Oh boy. Thank you for purchasing your Beechcraft airplane. We hope you have many exciting hours of aircraft simulation with it. Cruise climb, full throttle, 82 knots. That's what I care about. Best rate, 75. Best angle, 70 or 69. Okay, yeah, that's pretty standard. So we'll climb to about 90 knots or so. And then our approach speed is 68 to 70 knots. Okay, so this flies like a 172. That's easy enough. All right. We got this. Look at that trouble, right? All right, we probably don't need any flaps for this. So let's do our run up. What do you say? Pretty good sound. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's no RPM drop in the carb heat. It's okay. Corin's like, I didn't think they'd be doing a run-up. Okay, let's see. Where are we at? So the nearest altimeter here is 3036. Let's just go off field elevation. Field elevation is 3177. 3177. Which is about 3036. That's pretty close. Yeah, about 3036 is fine. The windsock is slightly favoring the runway to the south, so we'll bang out of here. We'll bang left out of here, take off runway 28. Our plan is to fly. We'll fly a left downwind departure, and then we'll actually go over here. So actually, if we'll fly over there, there's a little mountain pass just north of here. So we're gonna fly nice and low. We're gonna go to like 5,000 feet. Fly nice and low. Go through that mountain pass, and then we're gonna follow the river up north. Follow till we get to the big lake. We go to the end of the very big lake. We keep on going. And we look for the next big lake. And at the very beginning of the next big lake is gonna be our airport. Cool. Ooh. The stream FPS is having some issues, which means my video card is getting hammered right now. Well, I will say the frames are good. I think once we get up in the air, it'll be better. I'm sorry for the choppiness. I can't do anything about it right now. I think I'm going to just ditch OBS because I think OBS is causing some of this headache and pain. It's better now. All right. CTAF here. 22-9er, and we'll queue up. 22-9er, and we'll queue up fingers for the flying portion. 2345. 22-9er, 2345. Where are we? Oh, hey, there he is. Hey, how you doing? Garden Valley traffic, Sundowner 717 Tango Sierra, back taxi, runway 28, Garden Valley. We want to keep that nose wheel up, keep that stick back. Practice our short field technique, our soft field technique, sorry. I'm not gonna sit there and actually hold that though. McCall Pancake House, walking distance from the airport. Now you're talking. The Strain 11, gonna see you, my friend. Absolutely a showstopper. How can we be expected to fly with a carb heat that's not working? I think, is it getting fogged up in here? All right, there's no electric flaps. Yep. I'm guessing that this must be like a standard cockpit. Just like half this stuff just doesn't work.
Retard.
It's okay. Nah, we doing cool. Stanchez! Real Stanchez, thank you very much for 7 months of support. Stan, I do appreciate your continued support. Cheers, my friend. How is it being back to work? It's my Johnson bar down here. I think we probably don't need any flaps coming out of here, but I'll give it a notch. Garden Valley traffic, 717 Tango Sierra, taking off runway 10, and we're just going to be a left downwind departure, Garden Valley. Or is it? Let's see here. 10. Ish. All right. Lights. Where's the... There it is. Lights are set. Camera set. In action. 1 notch flaps. That's in. That's good. Let's go flying. You took today off. Right up. Oh, this is interesting. There's no real good way for me to turn. Oh. Oh, now they're up. There's no real good way for me to turn my downwind there. Garden Valley traffic 707, take us here upwind, runway 10, Garden Valley. I hadn't considered the possibility that the valley might be small enough that I couldn't actually make a proper turn. So I guess we'll cheat. Intel or AMD for X-Plane? I'm the wrong person to ask, man. I have an AMD chip. I have a 3900X. I love it. I recommend AMD to pretty much everybody right now. I think it's the far superior product. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Haha! Got to make it so I can actually hear COM 1. It's alright though. Garden Valley traffic 717 takes a circle over by the field of 5,000 feet, Garden Valley. We are not very high. All I want to do is get back in this valley so I can feel somewhat safe. The valley's very narrow, I know, Jeremy. Holy crap. All right. COM 1 is not turned on for some reason. PilotEdge is not showing me with a COM 1 at the moment. Yeah. See if we can fix that. All right, in the meantime, let's do... Lean the manifold a little bit there. There we go. Turn our boost pump off now. What do you call a turkey standing on one leg? Confused. Here we go. Anthrax has no radios. My COM 1 is not functioning. COM 2 is, though. Retard. Or is it? No, COM 2's not working either. Dasudia, how you doing? Air Cine, thanks for 9 months, man. Appreciate it, Andrew. Cheers, buddy. Airfighter, good to see you. All right, sit rep. Audio ain't working. Let's fly the plane first. Airfitter's the guy who coded the C23. There is no COM 2, he says. Okay. Well, here's what I'm looking at. Here's the PilotEdge map. That's me. All we have registered is COM2 on PilotEdge. There is no COM1 being registered. It's 20.15. 20.15 is what neither of my radios are tuned into 20.15. Turn the volume knob on the radio, not the GPS. All right. Radio volume is set. And they're still showing me a 20.15 on COM2. So let's see if we can do that. Might be needing to pull out data ref, yeah. Recently downloaded Explain data called US Forest Woodlands Ortho, kind of like an ortho booster path that gets proper tree placement for ortho scenery. It's quite nice. Only downside is the only one type of tree. Pumps with the trees in the ground, hills, and mountains. Oh, that's cool, man. Wonder if it will work better with a high definition add-on as well. I don't know. I haven't really played around with trees too much, so I pretty much just... So I use the X-Plane default labels or decals and whatnot on top of the ortho, so whatever trees you're seeing is whatever came default with X. It would have been X-Plane 10 when I built this ortho out. The middle position in the audio panel is off. Okay. Aha. Oh yeah, there's headphones. Roger that. Hey, there it works. Oh, I got a COM1. I turned it off, didn't I? Thank you. I hate these old audio panels. I literally turned it off. Thank you. We fixed it. You fixed it. All right. So happy to have you guys here. Jay Pilot, how you doing? That's also one of the reasons why I do these VFR routes first. I don't have Abby tab installed, so I just turn that. Oops, just turn that off. It's one of the reasons why I do these VFR routes first. $23.45. Oh, I see. Okay, so it's one radio. They're linked somehow. Aha! Fly too many electronic screens. Yeah, yeah. The stuff. Most of the stuff I fly is a little bit more advanced than that. Although we did, the Warrior that my club had that we sold earlier this year had that comm panel. As a web dev, I feel for a writer right now. It happens. This is what happens when you give a bumbling idiot like myself access to your precious product. But the thing that I like to point out is that these are all issues that people that are tuning in could potentially have themselves. So that's kind of why I like to do the fresh take on things. I do this at work too. I was given a spec document last week. I looked over the synopsis that said, here's what the thing is about. I went straight to the diagrams that said, here's what the interface looks like. And I said, well, that's confusing to me because the end user is not going to read the documentation. They're going to jump straight into the product and they're going to say, okay, how do I use it? Or They're going to say, all right, let's start using it. And having not read the documentation, they're not really going to, there's potentially nuances that they won't understand unless they read the documentation. So my philosophy is and this is, I'm not BSing you, I promise. My philosophy is generally jump in, go straight to the interface, go straight to the nuts and the bolts and see if I can make the thing work, because that's what the typical user is going to end up doing. Because unfortunately, nobody reads the documentation most of the time. One of my reps, when I pick up a new bird, always find the bugs. Well, we'll call it bugs. In this case, that was definitely not a bug. That was all pilot error. In this case, we will call it a. It's actually a quirk of that audio panel. Like it's a thing that audio panel is. I need to turn that back to COM 1 or else we wouldn't transmit on COM 1, theoretically. SH Richards actually works with me and he's like, yeah, I know. he's not BSing you. Right, Runner Sim, good to see you, my friend. Sometimes there's a balance between the real things and easy to use, yeah.
Cherokee 1 Sierra Sierra on fingers.
How's it going?
Not too bad. Cherokee actually doing pretty good out here.
Yeah, I bet it's got some crazy performance. It's getting a little cold out.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
That's Ian. Ian just started a new job today. So yeah, I mean, so I try to look at products, I try to look at planes and all that stuff with an eye of what is my audience going to do, because I feel like if I can find the problems, not the problems, but if I can find these corner cases, like somebody's gonna have themselves in a position where they're gonna look at that, gonna say, well, I flip that up to turn it on, right? Because that's how everything else in the world works. Not realizing, of course, that there's speaker all the way up and phone all the way down and then nothing in the middle. And then say, well, it's broken, right? I knew it wasn't broken. I know you guys are smarter than that. It was just a matter of me figuring out what the hell was going on there. So, yeah. Peter Ryder, good to see. It's almost 2020 and Microsoft still develops landscapes that look worse than World of Warcraft back in 2004. Okay, so first of all, we're in X-Plane 11. This is Orthophotos Scenery that we've generated. So this is actually like third-party scenery that I've thrown in, that I've built and thrown in here. And I've intentionally generated pretty low-resolution scenery out here because I normally don't fly this low through this area. So normally when I'm flying over this part of the country, I'm at like 30,000 feet. But yeah, it's a good point. If we didn't have the orthophoto scenery, it would look far worse, I promise. Trust me, it would look a lot worse. Yeah, higher mesh and just a higher zoom level scenery. If like, I don't even know if they do ZL17 out here, but that would be an enormous amount of data for me to do the entire Western US in zoom level 17. So I've compromised and I've done 15 in most places. Plus it would have taken forever to generate that stuff too. Popping up the old FSX mission pack. One of the missions was to deliver a run to the hotels in the Snowy Mountains. You flew a Beechcraft Baron. Pilot planning the flight didn't check for an active MOA. You got in trouble. Yep, I remember that. Which takes about an hour to do. Yeah. Nah, yeah, some of those FSX missions were pretty, like, they were pretty fun. I most certainly enjoyed the hell out of them. Our 5,000 has turned into 6,000 now for some terrain clearance. And we've got a nice escort here. Oh, yeah. Got Anthrax down there and slow flight the T6. I saw Ian blow past me somewhere. Oops. Blow past me somewhere. Yeah, no, it's a valid complaint. I normally am not, like I said, I'm normally not flying this low out here. Normally when I'm doing low and slow, I'm flying in SoCal or I'm flying in areas where I have a higher level of granularity on the scenery. Because like I'll do this. See, here's the thing. If you're up here at like 30,000 feet or whatever, and you're looking around, boy, that looks pretty good. Because most of the time when I'm flying through this area, this is about how high I am. Like even as you start to bring the camera in, it looks pretty good until you get, you know, maybe not there so much. That's probably what, that's probably about 10,000 feet or so. Then obviously once you get way in on it, it degrades pretty quickly. Nice flyby. Yeah, the mesh is the same resolution I use everywhere. Or I've used the same ortho for XP settings to generate the mesh as I use everywhere. Yeah, it's very nice through here. Very, very scenic. And Airfighter, by the way, it's good to have you here, man. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for not, you know, blowing a gasket at me. Because you had every right to. I genuinely love general aviation airplanes, so I was thrilled to have the opportunity to fly a new one. So looking around this cockpit, it's kind of interesting. I wonder why, like, what engineering decision led them to say we need to put the fuel pressure prominently in front of the user or in front of the pilot? Like, they've almost put a priority on the fuel pressure that is higher than the RPM because they put it closer to your normal scan here. Like, what problems came up during the testing phase, during the design phase of this airplane that they said, you know what? We need to have the fuel pressure gauge be prominent. Whereas, like, you know, the instrument air, the vacuum pump is down here, and like all of your normal instrument stuff or your engine stuff is way down here. Your oil temp, your oil pressure, your amps, and all that stuff. So I find those sorts of like user experience questions to be fascinating. It's like all the McDonnell Douglas stuff. All the McDonnell Douglas planes have these, you know, the MD-88 has all these weird quirks to it, where it's like, okay, before you put the gear down, if you have the flaps down, you can't have the flaps and the spoilers up at the same time if the gear is down or the gear is up, because when you put the gear down, it could like hit the instrument or whatever, hit the sensor that says, all right, deploy the spoilers because we're on the ground. Like those types of things that have come up over the years. That MD-88, if you go through the procedures, if you go through the manual and whatnot, it's just this giant long string of, here are ways that this plane crashed, that we've now put together procedures to make sure that that particular incident doesn't happen again. Since it might be of viewers' interest in the plane, I would like to point out that it's compatible with the latest X-Plane 11.40 Plus experimental flight model. So I'm not using the experimental flight model, so what am I missing? Anything? Addons and Simulations, how you doing, my friend? USA at zoom level 17 is just over 7 terabytes. Yeah, no thanks. Can we get a cabin tour? Sure. Here's the back. Yep. Here's your lack of legroom. They're nice enough to put the spar right down the, they're nice enough to put the spar right down the middle of the plane here, so you have even less legroom if you're in the back. There's a cargo section, tow bar. Yep. Okay. And yeah, that's your cabin tour. Gay porn, thanks for the bits. Oh, Jesus, man. Get the hell out of my channel. And I'm going to report you as well. Spamming? Yeah. Sending repeated messages, spam. Could you provide more detail? User came in and spammed the hell out of my chat. Blocked. Done. Justice, my friends. Not a big problem not using the experimental flight model. You're a bit faster than the real thing. Gotcha. Okay. At some point, I probably have to go do the checkbox that does the experimental flight model. But yeah. My understanding too is that partner reports coming in from partners tend to have a higher priority. So if that idiot's been doing that stuff anywhere else, there's a good chance that it was nice to know you on Twitch. Goodbye. Meeper95, good to see you. Coast Pilot, thank you for the bits. Be the Gamer 2 YT, thank you for 15 months of support. I appreciate it. Cheers. The whole thing about the experimental flight model has me confused. Some parts implemented, others not. Yeah, I'm kind of confused. I'm confused as to why the experimental flight model was a sim-wide adjustment as opposed to a per-plane adjustment. Because it seems to me that if you want to run the experimental flight model, you could potentially be breaking planes that aren't configured for it, and vice versa. If you don't run it, some planes could be broken that work, or if you don't have it and the plane was configured to expect it, then the plane could be broken for that. So, like, I'm not sure at what point I should flip over and use the experimental flight model, or if I should just leave it turned off and wait for X-Plane to force me to use it. Account was created today, literally made to troll spam. Yeah, I figured as much. But like, they can do things like email bans and IP bans and stuff like that. That guy's pretty hardcore. Normally the trolls don't work in here because you have the verified thing on, so you have to have a verified email address to be able to even talk in this channel. All right. Winds are calm. We'll go land runway 16. It's going to be 22.8. Oh, we don't even have a backup here, so I'm going to do it here. 22. Yeah. Cheat. That's how we roll. Does the experimental flight model add more dynamics that can interact with the aircraft? I have no idea what it does. Lord Secret Spy, welcome back. Or hello, happy Monday. It's good to see you. Shalimar 2, welcome aboard. Can I show the yokes for a bit? Sure. We can show them. We can show them for the rest of the flight. Those aren't really super in the way, so it's not a big deal. Jonathan Cordova, what's going on, man? Happy Monday. It's good to see you. One rule. This channel has one rule and one rule only. Don't violate it, please. Yeah, it's a good little plane, man. I'm enjoying it so far. It flies pretty well. We're hand flying the whole thing. Get it trimmed out, and there's no big deal to it. We'll see how she does on the old landing here. The ticking clock, I think, will drive you insane if you sit very long with it not running. Exclamation point plane is what you're looking for there. Caronado, for instance, will take half a year minimum to update the new flight dynamics, assuming they even update it. Who knows? Like, I think that's... Unfortunately, one of the big drawbacks to X-Plane 11 has been that Austin, and we talk about this every week, but Austin has mucked around with the flight model so much that developers, from what I understand, some developers have gotten a little bit upset at the fact that he's constantly adjusting and tweaking and tuning, and they have to constantly go and make their planes fly properly again with pretty much every single patch. So hopefully 1140 is like it. Like, stop messing with the flight model, leave it alone. You know, let the developers work on whatever they have to work on, like Vulkan support and all that stuff coming up down the road. But I don't know. I'm not a developer, so I can't speak to that with authority. That's what we're looking for, authority. Not a bad little flight here. Down the valley, VFRing it up. Just keep on heading north here. The airport should be on the right side of that hill. So it should be kind of... That actually might be it, right? No, there's like a whole string of airports that run up over here. And then our airport, I think, actually might be on the other side of that hill. Yeah, over there. So if we follow the river here on the left side, that'll take us where we want to go. Austin will never stop messing with the flight model. I know he won't. Bustin' Jakely, good to see you. Because that's the thing that makes X-Plane what it is. And at least in his mind, is like the realism of the flight dynamics and this and that. But like, if you think about it from a software development standpoint, you know, or like if you think about like a REST API, version it. Like allow the developer to say, this is the version of the flight model that I wish to use for my airplane. That would make sense to me. I don't know if it's technically possible with the way the sim is built, but that would make the most sense. And so then the developer can say, this is the version of the flight model that should be used with this particular airframe. And then when they do their major updates, then they can go through and they can say, okay, we now support this new flight model. 3 levers, what kind of voodoo complex plane is this? Dude, the middle lever is the carb heat. I know that now because it says carb heat and Goran told me. What I don't know is if back is off or if forward is off. Because it started forward. I would assume that back is going to be carb heat on. But there was no RPM drop to note the presence of carb heat. And as far as temps, none of the temps change either, so I don't know. That's all right though. I'm not gonna get upset at a plane over carb heat. It's my favorite kind of flying here. It's good stuff. Forward is no carb heat. Got it. Carb heat in up. Look outside the plane after switching. Might be deprecated data ref. All good, man. That's why we're here, dude. We're gonna find the problems. Most of the time they're sitting in this chair right here. I love the misaligned extra liters placard above the throttle block. Yeah, it's a good touch. Like, that's a good touch. The paint here, the lettering being sort of rubbed away is nice. Like just the overall details, I'm pretty jazzed with this thing. Like, you can tell that this thing has done some very, very, very hard times. Like, this plane has seen some crap. I'm not sure what the fuel situation here is, though. Like, we're on the left tank, and I think the fuel maybe hasn't changed. I guess we haven't been in the air that long either, so we'll see what FS Economy reports us for a fuel burn. I would anticipate, I don't know, we've been in the air for, I forgot to set the recording up, but we've been in the air for probably 20 minutes, right? So I'd anticipate that we've burned probably 4 or 5 gallons so far. Like, this entire flight, we should probably burn like 7 or 8 gallons, if that. What's on the hobs? Oh yeah, where's the hobs at? There's no tack. Oh, there's the hobs. Has to be a tack. There's got to be a tachometer somewhere, right? Not quite 666. 668 hours. I like it. What are channel points? That's a new thing Twitch introduced. It's kind of stupid. Oh, well, there's my lake. So my airport's over here then. All right, well, we'll go set ourselves up left traffic runway 16. It's 5,024 feet, so we're pretty much flying at pattern altitude right now. I'm switching over to 22.8.
You got it.
Call traffic, Beechcraft 717 Tango Sierra. It's 5 miles to the southwest. We're going to make left traffic for runway 16, McCall. Purr! Yeah, stupid, but now you can do that, right? No tack yet, likely an update. Gotcha. What is the pulsing blue button and knob? The pulsing blue button and knob. On the channel or on the airplane?
And the call traffic.
Press it on the channel and you get a little, you get bonus
white
points.
Cherokee following the traffic in the left-hand pattern. McCall.
Beer Belot, good to see you. Welcome aboard. Oh yeah, that's the transponder. Interesting. Do we ident by pushing that? All right. Where am I going when I land here? Things that I should check.
Truckin 1376. I monitor calls to make sure they're correct on PilotEdge.
Breaker 19. Say again.
10-4, good buddy.
See. Call traffic, Beechcraft 717, take us here left downwind, runway 16, McCall. SimVR Labs, good to see you. Keep in mind the fuel indicator is skewed towards low indications. Half tank is 2/3. Okay, so you've done that then. You've made it so that the fuel gauges are all crap, just like in the real airplanes. I approve. All right. Let's speed back a bit here. Hopefully those guys aren't falling too close. Can we move the compass? You mean the DG? Yeah, we can move the DG. Compass doesn't move. Compass shouldn't move, though. Just saying. I can hear but can't transmit. Check to see if there's a transmit. Check to see if there's a mic selector somewhere, because that plane definitely works on PilotEdge. I'm going to make a total guess here and say 1800 RPMs is going to get us somewhat of a descent rate. One notch on the Johnson bar. 1800 RPMs. Let's see if that gets us fine. Actually, it's going to be probably 1500. No, 1800. 1800 is what I do in the Cherokee. There we go. 500 feet per minute. Compass is crooked. I think it's just the way we're looking at it. Call traffic 77 Tango Sierra left base, runway 16, McCall. Next notch flaps. Push that stick forward. Call traffic 77 Tango Sierra turning final, runway 16, McCall.
Hey, McCall traffic, Cherokee 1 Tango Sierra, left base, McCall.
Okay, we should exit left up here. Somewhere's a runway, we're gonna land on it. Oh! Overshot the crap out of that. Might have been a little close in that pattern. All traffic 77 Tango Sierra, final 16, McCall. Chili Willie's landing on here.
Hey, McCall traffic, Cherokee 1 Tango Sierra. We're going to make an midfield overhead break and enter the pattern again for 16, McCall.
Nah, we're just going to go around. 77 Tango Sierra's going around, McCall.
Alright, Sundowner, Cherokee 1 Tango Sierra, we're going to go ahead and break behind you and we'll enter the left downwind, McCall.
You gonna be in front of me then?
Negative. Yes, sorry, we are going to be in front of you.
Retard,
okay.
retard,
And Cherokee 1 Tango Sierra is in the break for 16, McCall.
Yeah, I was way too close on that pattern, so I overshot the hell out of final. Call traffic 7. McCall traffic 77 Tango Sierra, left crossroom room at 16, McCall. It should not found things to get the Johnson bar
runway 16, McCall.
I approve. Cheers.
And McCall traffic, short final, Cherokee 1 Tango Sierra, runway 16, McCall.
All traffic 77 Tango Sierra left downwind, runway 16, McCall. A little high in the pattern here, so let's get that fixed. Oh yeah, that's more like it. There we go. Okay, so we're looking for a Cherokee that is, I think, on final.
And McCall traffic, Cherokee 1 Tango Sierra, clear of all runways, taxiing into parking, McCall.
Look for the Cherokee that's already on the ground. Don't know where our T6 buddy went. Good PBR shine, yeah. Looks good, man. Inside of this plane, it looks fantastic. Gotta go over to the lake, yeah. How's our T6 buddy? Good buddy T6. All traffic 77 Tango Sierra left base 16, McCall. I kind of had a feeling when I was turning that base that I wasn't going to make the runway. Call traffic 77, take a straight turning final runway 16 McCall. Trim. Still high, still high. I could fix that though. Not much better on that one, but whatever. Call traffic 77, take a stairs clear, runway 16 McCall. Yeah, I wasn't super happy with that. It's all good. I noticed the brake sounds, yeah. Yeah, sounds are good, man. I'm all about the sounds in airplanes, and this is, you guys nailed it pretty good here. Has AudioBird done any other payware products? I think this is the first, like, pay product I think I've heard of them doing. Go around, don't drown. There he is. Props nuts. Did you prop strike it? What the hell? What's a Johnson bar? The Johnson bar is the name for this thing right here. Johnson bar is actually a thing. So where am I parking? From Wikipedia, a Johnson bar is a hand lever with several distinct positions and a positive latch to hold the lever into a selected position. The latch is typically activated with a spring-loaded squeeze handle, so the lever can only, so that only one hand is needed to release the latch and move the lever, then re-engage the latch in a different position. So, in you have to go up in the Archer with me sometime. And the Cherokees and apparently the Beechcraft as well have this bar down here. This is the Johnson bar. This is what controls the flaps. So if you pull that up one notch, we now have one notch of flaps down. If you pull it up more, you have more notches of flaps down, right? And then you just, if you're on the ground, you pull in the, you pull the button in, and you slowly release the flaps.
Crappiest landing ever.
Crappiest landing ever. No, crappiest approach ever. The landing was pretty good. The approach was awful, though. That's my story. This plane sounds really good, man. Holy cow. I think I'm gonna skip the IFR. We'll do VFR. We'll grab flight following on the way down there. All right, avionics are off.
Altimeter 3001. Arriving and departing runway 24. ILS runway 24 approach in use. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact that you have information Kilo.
We have Kilo.
Carlsbad McClellan Palomar Airport. 8 is information Kilo. 0153
How the hell do I have Carlsbad all the way up here?
Visibility 7. Sky condition, clear. Temperature 16. Dew point 13. Altimeter 3001. Arriving and departing runway 24. ILS runway 24 approach in use. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact that you have information Kilo.
All right, we have Kilo at Palomar.
Carlsbad McClellan Palomar Airport. ATIS information Kilo. 0153 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 7. Sky condition, clear. Temperature 16. Dew point 13.
Hi Johnson, barred
Altimeter
that landing.
3001.
Time to get my
Arriving and
Piper.
departing runway 24. ILS runway 24 approach in use. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact that you have information Kilo. Carlsbad McClellan Palomar Airport. ATIS information Kilo. 0153 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 7. Sky condition, clear. Temperature 16. Dew point 13. Altimeter 3001. Arriving and departing runway 24. ILS runway 24 approach in use.
Make it
Read
stop.
back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial...
Anthrax, thanks for the bits, man. I'm guessing. Okay, so it was your crappy line. Did you prop strike it, dude? Because I saw your prop was stopped as you were flying down the runway there. Johnson barred the landing. Time to get my Piper. Cheers, man. Thank you very much for the bits, dude. Well, that was weird. What field is this again? We are at Mike Yankee Lima, McCall Municipal. We're gonna grab advisories and make our way down to Boise next. Just gonna do. We'll just do VFR heading down there. I don't feel like doing IFR right now. Yeah, actually, you know what? Finish that flight. Cancel the flight. Yeah. Let me go put some gas in the airplane. Boobity-boo. We burned 3 gallons of fuel, apparently. I started with 36. I ended with 33. All right. Palomar Addons is always correct. Open the iPad. Open the iPad. I tried to open the iPad and didn't do anything. I don't have AviTab installed, so I don't know if this... Oh, there's the power button. Aha! Yeah. 36 we got our passenger. We got our... got something in here. It's all good. Uh-oh. I just heard baby cry. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. I see how that works. I figured there had to be something like this. A checklist, too. What do you know? Cool. I didn't think to push the power button. You hit the reverse way too quick. Aha! Yes. You did the mythical tail strike on a tricycle gear engine. Nuke Duke, I'm good to see you, my friend. How you doing? Stealth Bob's good to see you, buddy. Happy Friday, Bob, or happy Monday, Bob. All right. Baby is not happy, but wife is on it. Here. You're going to need to bump up the pilot weight. Listen to the clock tick, and we'll see Boise. So KMY L KBOI. Okay, it's going to be a little bit longer flight heading down there. We're pretty much going to follow the same valley. Only we will... Hope you guys can't hear that. We're going to come out over here. Horseshoe Head. Or Horseshoe Bend. Horseshoe Head. Horseshoe Head, fool. So here's what we'll do. We'll make our way down here. I'll stay on fingers. We will grab Big Sky Approach once we're crossing Horseshoe Bend here. And we'll grab our advisories into Boise for a full stop landing. Kid's got some real lungs on her, yeah. I have no idea what's wrong with her because it's way too early for her to wake up. All right. Cool. Got it? Good. That's our route. Here we go. We're just going to jump right into it. Horseshoe Bend. Not Horseshoe Head. All right. So you go full. You crack you. Master switch is on. Beacon's already on. Turn you on. We're pretty well primed up. Let me make sure X economy's running on a flight, which it is. And we shall start the engine. Left tank is set. Okay, 900,000 RPM. We got oil pressure. We got oil temps. Good, good, good. Avionics master on. 3034 is nearest altimeter. Set. Good. Where's the trim wheel at? I didn't even think to look for the trim wheel. Right here in the middle. Ah, yeah, there it is. That must be takeoff. Does that actually go all the way forward? Huh. That goes way up there, doesn't it? Alright, well, we'll assume that the line here is takeoff. Set. Sound of the run up. We know that's not working. It's good. Suctioning. Fantastic. Let's go flying. General aviation's so good. Anthrax, you make it back in, my friend? Oh wow, we got a collection here. Sounds are real good in this thing, man. It's not like, I think it's only like $30 too. Like, I think it's actually kind of cheap. If this was Coronado, this would be a $60 airplane. No strobe, interesting. Alright. What is this airport called? McCall. McCall traffic! Sundowner 717 Tango Sierra, taking off from a 16 straight out departure, McCall.
Approaching runway 16.
Thank you. Clear right.
Entered runway 16.
I gotta tell you guys a Runway Incursion story, by the way, when I get up in the air. For now, we're just going to enjoy these sounds. Hunter Shook, good to see you.
McCall traffic, Cherokee 401 Tango Sierra, taxiing runway 16. Any traffic in the pattern, please advise. McCall traffic, 1 Tango, chart, runway 16.
TSP's are green, airspeed's alive.
I'm alive, boys.
pretty good. It's pretty good. Sounds great.
We call traffic radio check.
5x5. Call traffic 77 Tango Sierra is on the upwind, departing the area to the south, runway 16. Call, last call.
McCall traffic, 110 Tango, straight out, 16. McCall traffic.
Alright, we'll go to 6,000. We'll hold it there for now. Make our way down here. We're looking for the lake and then a river after the lake. We're just going to follow the river. So 2,400. Just dropping RPM. Here we go. I guess that's 2,300. We'll go with that anyway. That's what I meant to do. Oh yeah, dude, performance is fantastic too. Like it was running so good earlier, it was killing my GPU. It was killing my stream. Because the GPU was running at 100% utilization.
McCall Cherokee 1 Tango Sierra, departing runway 16, straight out departure, McCall.
I'm getting 85 frames a second. Is she doing all right? All right, let's turn this down. There we go. Part 121. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you very much for 4 months of support. Appreciate that. Cheers.
McCall traffic 110 Tango on the departure lag. Last call. McCall traffic.
Upwind.
Upwind, thank you.
Student pilot. We got him. Mortality 6, how you doing, man? Sleeting in Memphis right now. Oh, that sucks, dude. Have fun with that. It's supposed to get real windy tonight and cold tomorrow, so I need a little more power. I need a little more speed than this. Let's do 2,500 RPMs. It's supposed to get cold and windy up here tomorrow. And I'm potentially going to go night flying on Wednesday, but I think I might cancel that if it's going to be too cold. I don't want to freeze my tootsies off just yet.
Call traffic down at 95 Alpha Victor, straight out departure, runway 16 call.
Thinking about when the new flight sim comes out, doing a real paper chart VFR flight. It's fun, dude. It's fun to do once in a while. I mean, yeah, if I had paper charts out here, I might consider it, but I don't. I could turn off, so I could turn off the, geolocation or the own ship stuff on 4Flight and basically do the same thing, but like this flight is not, there's not really anything difficult to this flight. Follow the ridge on the right, stay over the river. When it forks, hang a right, and then you're good to go. Pick me up in Albany on Wednesday evening. I have a meeting Wednesday evening, dude. That's why I gotta go flying. And I'm not sure if my meeting is in Nashua or Norwood, so I'm still waiting to, that's still to be determined. Rental power? We can do rental. Well, I guess we are doing rental power now. Ah, baby's still crying, dude. What is wrong? If you got 4Flight, it's fun to disable own ship. Yeah, it's fun to do once in a while. I did it when I did it my PPL training. I did paper navigation, all that stuff, and overrated.
McCall traffic down at 95 Alpha Victor, the upwind leg for 16. Last call. McCall.
I'm using my cheater aileron trim that apparently they didn't disable, so I like it when when they make GA planes and they still let you use aileron trim behind the scenes, because it means I have to spend less time like rolling the stick back and forth to try to keep it level. All right, somewhere we're gonna find a speed that works for us. Entrance Dodge, welcome aboard. Ryan67, how you doing? Hope you don't get the snow we're having in Michigan, 9 inches today. My friends in northeastern Indiana were sending me pictures and weather updates. Apparently they were getting a few inches tonight too. It sounded like it was less than ideal. If Serby plays this year, I imagine Serby's getting some stuff out near Albany, in his neck of the woods. You're done in Albany at 4, which should put you home around 7. Well, if I'm in Norwood, I'll let you know. I don't know what my schedule is just yet. We will soon enough, though. Okay, so runway incursion story. So this weekend, I went flying. Went up with one of my fellow club members, and we went to we did some instrument practice. So he did 3 approaches out, I did 3 approaches back. Logged that towards currency and all that good stuff. So on the way out, we went into an airport. We were stopping full stop for lunch at an airport called Keene. Echo November in New Hampshire. Beautiful airport, by the way. If you're looking for a nice place to fly into, that's a good place to fly into sometime. So we're flying into Echo November, and there's as we're coming up on it, so he's flying an ILS approach, so we're flying ILS 2, but the winds and the traffic are all favoring 20. So I'm like, all right, well, fly the ILS 2. I'll call when to break it off. We'll do a circling approach, and we'll circle to land runway 20. So the idea was we'll come in, we'll break it off, we'll enter the left downwind, and we'll come in and land runway 20. Fine. There's 3 guys in the pattern, or there's 2 guys in the pattern, and there's a student pilot who is coming in. So I'm, getting a visualization in my head. We're figuring out, okay, here's where people are at, here's what's going on, yada, 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 and all that. So it turns out everybody that was in the pattern, including the student, was all doing full stops. They were doing either full stop taxi backs, or they were just done for the day. So by the time we finally get on downwind, we're the only people flying. Like the last 2 guys landed full stop in front of us, no big deal. So traffic calls. We're left downwind, runway 20, left base, runway 20, final runway 20. We see this little diamond, it looks like, who's sitting short of the runway. Now the way that it works at Keene is that to get to the terminal area or the restaurant, you actually have to. So you land. You go exit left, you come back, and then you cross 20 right at the threshold. So you have to wait. You basically have to sit there and hold short until traffic lands, and then you cross real quick, and you can go to the restaurant. So I see this guy holding short, and I'm assuming, oh, okay, he's just holding short. He's going to clearly cross this runway and then go to the restaurant. No big deal. Make our traffic calls, make our radio calls. Very obvious that we're coming in. 200 feet above the ground, homie decides to take the runway. So he starts moving. Or let's say, we'll say 400 feet. 400 feet, he starts moving. And I'm like, is he crossing the runway? Like, what the hell's going on here? I thought maybe he was crossing the runway. Nope, he lines up for the runway. We're 200 feet and we're almost to the runway. We're almost at the damn threshold. Immediately, I tell my buddy, go around. Go around, break to the left. Do not so he gets on the radio. He's like, all right, we're going missed, breaking off to the left here. And homie just takes off. We're making our radio calls and this and that, and he doesn't make a single radio. Well, he makes his departure call. He does make his departure call. Oh, departing runway 20. So we get on the radio, and he's like, so he eventually apologizes, like, oh, I didn't see you guys. I'm like, what? Like, we were 200 feet, less than a quarter mile from the end of the runway, and we've been making radio calls the whole time you've been sitting there holding short. You didn't see us. So I almost got to become an accident statistic this weekend because of that idiot. And my buddy was like, should we land or should we? I'm like, dude, you go around. Like, you don't want to land behind this guy taking off, because if he happens to hit the brakes and stop, like, your prop is going right up his 6. He's gonna get a butt full of Cessna 172 at that point, and I'm gonna get a face full of who knows what that I don't want to have in my face. So we went around, and that was my runway incursion story this weekend. It was Untowered Airport too. It's like I couldn't believe it. Like, you're watching this happen and almost in slow motion. You're like, dude, what are you doing? Don't do that. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. It was crazy, man. Where you heading? Interest Dodge. We're making our way south to Boise. So we just took off out of a lake up here. We took off out of a McCall Airport near Payette Lake in Idaho. And I think it's in Idaho still. And we're making our way down to Boise. Actually, I'm going to jump over on fingers. Anybody up on fingers?
fingers? I'm up.
Oh, I can hear myself.
Congrats.
Test. I can't hear myself now. Great. Fixed.
Congrats.
Sad part is that he was probably completely legal. I mean, he was, yes, he was legal. He was legal in the far sense, right? Because there is no legality in terms of who owns the runway and this and that. Only that basically there's like at an Untitled airport, there's no legality around that stuff, to my knowledge. The AIM basically says don't be an idiot. And that guy clearly violated the AIM by being an idiot. Yeah, it was one of those, it's just like, come on, man. Like and I'll tell you, every close call I've had, every kind of idiot pilot that I've run into has been a keen. For whatever reason, that seems to attract all the morons. Absolutely attracts all the morons. I don't know why, but it does. So yeah. Did the right thing, had a similar experience in a 152, does not exactly leap when you decide to go around. Yeah, well, and that's the thing, we're in a 172. You know, we're not max gross or anything, but we're not super light either because of yours truly. And there's a lot of, like, it's mountainous terrain and all that stuff around you. And just general, like, general unpleasantness and not the kind of place where you want to be maneuvering down low. Had a similar issue, 200 feet above the touchdown zone elevation. Somebody turns base right in front of us at the same altitude. Oh, no. Yeah. Dude, I was so close to jumping on the radio and giving that guy a freaking earful, man. Like, I was livid at that point. Thankfully, I was not the pilot flying, or I would have probably lost my cool. No, there's no probably to it. I absolutely would have lost my cool with that dude on the radio. Like, there's no excuse for that. Is there such thing as a Runway incursion at a non-tower airport? No, technically there isn't. But the story sounds more dramatic when I call it a runway incursion. Had a guy last week, fairly busy day, departed runway 32, staying in the pattern. As soon as I turned crosswind, I saw the guy in a Bonanza rolling out on runway 5. Of course, yeah. And a Bonanza, too. He's probably 90 years old. The AIM is not regulatory, no. Ultra Sabermen, welcome aboard. Do you like flying small GA or tube liners in this sim? I like GA. I mean, I fly everything, don't get me wrong. I fly literally everything but helicopters. We'll do gliders one of these days, but everything but helicopters. But I very much prefer flying GA airplanes. Baby's still crying, so I'm thinking baby's hungry. I mean, I'm supposed to tune to the CTAF before takeoff roll, yeah, right? And you're supposed to make calls yourself, too. Captain Geo, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. We flew up to an airport north of us, and now we're flying to an airport south of us, and we're just kind of putzing along in the Sundowner by Leading Edge Simulations, who has been gracing us with his presence today. The exhaust particles are a nice touch, too, by the way. Actually coming out of the exhaust pipe. I can't respect a man. Oh, I can respect a man that doesn't fly helos. It's tough. Like, I don't know how to fly a helicopter. Helicopters in the sim are, you know, they're no joke. This is the valley I want to follow right here. I had a near miss last week into a Delta. Tower used the wrong call sign for converging traffic, same altitude with us, so the other plane never even looked. Oof. It's one of those cases, man, where it's like ADSB. When ADSB is mandated, it's going to save some lives. Like when we get to like 2020. Air rage doesn't solve anything. Guaranteed every pilot whose ticket isn't still wet has done something wrong and impacted another aircraft, didn't realize it. No, it doesn't. But it doesn't solve anything. But like not talking on the radios and not opening your eyes, and like he was in a diamond. Like, he was in a bubble canopy airplane that has fantastic visibility out the plane. Like, there was literally zero excuse for that to happen. None. Like, I can forgive mistakes. I can forgive, you know, missteps here and there, but there's no excuse to be in a diamond of all planes and, like, oh, I didn't see you, I'm sorry, and just go. Like, it's insane to me that even happened. Like I said, it's a good thing I wasn't on the radios. Air raids is no joke. You shouldn't do it. Don't be that guy. That's the thing, though. You're not supposed to, and it is recommended that you make radio calls. Right, yeah. Yeah, you don't have to. Hunter Shook, take it easy, man. Sim Pilot, good to see you. How many people are actually going to get ADS-B? I imagine those pilots are just refusing to get it. Well, so if you are within if you're within the 30-mile veil of a Class B airport, you're required to have ADS-B out. If you are operating at a Class C airport, you're required to have ADS-B out. I forget if there's any other requirements. But so essentially, for most of the flying that I do, pilots are going to have ADS-B out, because I do all of my flying in and out of a class, like in and out of the underbellies of a Class B shelf. So like the 2020 mandate will be fantastic for me. Now, granted, going out to Keene and airports like that, there's always a chance that they won't have it because it's not required of them. But yeah, I mean, for my home airport and whatnot, everybody will be mandated to have ADS-B out. I just picture that incident going very different. Me on climb out, staring at a Bonanza descending right into me. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Like that, and that's how that crap happens. Like, at this point, everybody should have radios. Use them. You know, there's no excuse not to use them. It's maybe he was tuned into the wrong frequency. Maybe it was an honest mistake. Who knows? But yeah, it just like that kind of stuff just blows my mind. Anyway. That was my drama this weekend. I suppose if that's the worst thing that happens to you, you had a pretty good weekend, right? I can't complain too much. Yeah, a pretty solid chunk of Florida is going to have ADS-B out. Just by virtue of where those planes are based. There's certainly areas where you won't have to. So anyway, it was a good day of flying though. It was really pretty out. It was super clear. It was a little bit on the bumpy side. A little bit on the bumpy side for our out leg. My return leg that I flew was pretty smooth, pretty nice. I really couldn't complain. And it was a beautiful approach coming into Beverly. The lights were already on. It was 5 o'clock and the lights were all on. Technically, it wasn't nighttime yet. But the sun was definitely on its way down, and it was certainly dark out by the time I got home at like 5:30. You'd be stupid not to have ADS-B flying over the Everglades. It doesn't necessarily do you any good over the Everglades, but like I think that there are cheap enough solutions out there. If you can afford to own an airplane, like you should probably spend the $2,000 or $3,000 and get like the Sky Beacon or some sort of cheap ADS-B out solution. Like it's having had it for so long, it is such a huge safety thing. Just like the knowledge of being able to see all that traffic, being able to visualize it on a tablet device or on my 430 or whatever, like having ADS-B has been fantastic. AP1776, how you doing? What are you flying? A Volvo? Pretty close to it, man. The old Beechcraft Sundowner here. Version 2 by Leading Edge Simulations. It's got some good sounds. She kind of putts along here. You know, we're in no big hurry. Just chilling. Out helps out others, but in helps you so much. Yep. And actually, ADS-B, if you were ADS-B out, you will also, the FAA will also return Mode C targets that are within, I think it's like 10 miles and plus or minus like 1,000 or 2,000 feet. Now, basically, there's a hockey puck that surrounds you. So if you're ADS-B out, the FAA will return ADS-B or return modes like non-ADS-B Mode C targets to you in real time. So you get a nearly complete view of most all traffic. I won't say everything because there's certainly been cases where I've been like, I didn't see him. But you get a really, really, really good view of damn near everyone. Because even the guys that are squawking 1200 Mode C like we are right now, are squawking Charlie, or squawking altitude 1200, like they're going to pick those up too. I have a hell of a lead. I got a faster airplane, man. That's how we roll. What are you in? Oh yeah, you're a little slower than me. It's all right. I'm gonna take the long ways. If you go up if you go up high and just fly over the mountains, that's fine. I'm following this valley, so I'm taking the literal long way into Boise. So you got time to catch up. This V2 went better than the 748. Yeah, I think so. I haven't heard anything about that thing in the last couple of days, but yeah, last week it sounded like that 742 or 748 V2 was a bit of a train wreck. Yeah, Ryan, that's one of the things that people don't realize with the ADS-B stuff, and it's such a nice thing to have ADS-B out. So the thing is now, if you're within somebody else's hockey puck, all the ADS-B receivers will pick up that traffic information as well. So like you might see, if you're not ADS-B out, you might see Mode C traffic, but it's not guaranteed. Below me is Highway 55. Well, thank you. Vinny the Great, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Highway 55. This looks like beautiful country out here. Like, this would be amazing to go for a drive through here, I bet. So over there is where we started. You can kind of see the ridge there, where the initial departure airport was. We're just following this ridge around.
They have cookies at the server.
I assume that they have cookies somewhere in Boise.
I want some cookies. I thought Boise was a dry town.
Most cookies don't have alcohol in them, Ian.
Y'all been eating the wrong cookies.
Cookies. Nope, no cookie backslash. Cookies. Oh no! According to Bing Maps, there are no cookies in Boise.
This is a bad state to fly in.
Big Sky Approach 26.9 will be next. We'll have to grab the ATIS too in here in a second. When I get a plane, it'll have in and out, no reason not to. Yeah, absolutely. I always look at airplanes because I'm always curious, like what's out there and whatnot. And definitely seeing a lot of airplanes that don't have ADS-B out and thinking, well, that's already a $3,000 investment just to get ADS-B out, depending on what level of ADS-B out you want to get. I think the sky beacons you can get installed for like maybe two or so. I don't recall though. How's the Sundowner? It's fantastic, man. I'm enjoying this plane. Next time we fly it, we'll go do some IFR stuff. Just flying at VFR today though. Doing a little backcountry flying through the hills of Idaho, the mountains of Idaho. I'm gonna get you drunk on Oreos in Kahlua. All right. Oh, you gotta dunk. Sorry, you gotta dunk your Oreos in Kahlua. That makes more sense. Looks like a nice update. I wish LES would put out a 15.2 update for the Saab. You hear that, Gorm? We want to hear if it. Next Saab update? Huh? Yeah, a new version of the Saab would be pretty cool. I think you can still run the Saab though, right? It still works. So we are going to follow here and around. Could I go over the mountains? Absolutely. Do I want to? Eh. Why bother? We're working on it, getting there. I would fly the crap out of a Saab update. Actually, the current Saab... So how is the current version of the Saab? Is it like... I assume it's flyable, right? Every time I fly that plane, inevitably somebody gets really upset with me every time I fly that airplane. Very upset with me. Because that's like one of those planes that has almost a cult following to it. And so when you're not doing it perfectly, people are like, catstrator, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, probably am. Damn tired. How you doing flying right now in VR? Nice, dude. One of these days I gotta actually get VR up and running in my sim. It's flyable, had no issues the other day. Sweet. Goran says, I ain't some deaf old man. I heard you. Well, this was a surprise. I wasn't expecting to see a general aviation plane come out of the old X Aviation world. I was even more surprised to see that it was Leading Edge doing this. So, yeah, this is a nice little surprise too. I like this plane. And in the interest of full disclosure, I was given a promotional copy of this to show off to you guys. So what do they call it? Complimentary copy is what the receipt. Excuse me, what the receipt said. I did not pay for this airplane. I would have though. I want to call overhead Horseshoe Bend, I think. What is the altitude down there? All right, Boise. Let's start playing for real here. Where in the hell? All right, Boise Aegis 23-9er.
Arriving and departing runways 10 right, 10 left. Visual approaches in use. ILS runway 10 right approach in use. VFR departures. Contact clearance delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Charlie.
Charlie.
Boise Air Terminal. ATC information,
Boise
Charlie.
Air Terminal.
0153 Zulu. Wind 110 at 4. Visibility 10. Sky condition, clear. Temperature 6. Dew point -8. Altimeter 3035. Arriving and departing runways 10 right, 10 left. Visual approaches in use. ILS runway 10 right approach in use. VFR departures. Contact clearance delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read
Got
back.
it. GA is absolutely where it's at. Love GA. Original 1010, how you doing?
Cap,
They were great GA LES planes made before the Saab was released. Or they were great. Yeah, that's fair.
Sure.
Gordon told me,
Yeah,
Gordon says, please don't
2775
fly
on that.
version 1 of this airplane. He said that earlier
Cap
tonight.
2775 on that.
I'm guessing it's come out, it's changed quite a bit. VR has unfortunately changed my whole sim outlook. I can't fly in 2D anymore. Makes sense. I gotta hook my VR up, and I haven't run my VR since I actually got my new PC set up. So I gotta get it going one of these days.
Cherokee 401, Tango Sierra. Number 401, Tango Sierra, Big Sky approach. 401 Tango Sierra's VFR aircraft are about 5 miles north of Horseshoe Bend. We have information Charlie at Boise, and we'd like flight following into the airport for a full stop. 1 Tango Sierra, aircraft type. To Cherokee, slant golf.
DB.
1401 Tango Sierra, squawk 3431.
3431,
401 Tango Sierra.
Brandon's gonna hate us so very much. Which plane we flying? The River Echo YT, good to see you. We are flying the Sundowner version 2 by leading edge simulations.
3 miles north of Boise. Boise altimeter 3035, maintain VFR. Maintain VFR and 35401, Tango Sierra.
I like this plane. This is my style.
Destination ATIS is 123.
Okay, thank you. Big Sky approach. Good evening, Sundowner 717 Tango Sierra VFR request.
November 717 Tango Sierra, Big Sky approach, the request.
Never gonna believe this. Sundowner 717 Tango Sierra is 15 miles north of Boise. We've got Charlie. We'd like flight following for a full stop landing at Boise. We're a Beechcraft Sundowner 6500.
November 1 Tango Sierra, squawk 5127.
Is that for 7 Tango Sierra?
November 717 Tango Sierra, squawk 5127.
5127, 717 Tango Sierra. 5127. Bunch of VFR planes. He's like, I hate you guys so
November
much.
717 Tango Sierra, radar contact, maintain VFR, Boise altimeter 3035.
35, 7 Tango Sierra. Thanks.
Would you approach down in 595 Alpha Victor?
November 595 Alpha Victor, Big Sky approach.
I've got another one VFR inbound. Like request fly following into Boise.
November 595 Alpha Victor, aircraft type, squawk 2255.
2255, we are a Diamond 62, DA62.
Diamond. Ooh, fancy. Ooh. Ooh. Where's he coming from? Oh, he's behind me. Okay. I can feel the resentment in his voice. It's all good, man. All right, out there's a field somewhere. Let's see. There she is. All the way over there.
Victor, radar contact, Boise altimeter
I do like this plane, I really do.
Maintain VFR.
This is it's a good little GA plane. This is like the V-flight airplanes are equally kind of neat to me. Although this one has the sound pack, so the sounds are real good. Goran wanted to point out, by the way, that the brake sounds on the landing, so we'll listen for those. Very posh. The Diamond DA62 in this group is like a Ferrari hiding in a group of Fieros. I like it. I approve. And we're all coming in around the same time, so we all get sequenced in. At least he's not busy. He's got us four and us four and two people in the air, it looks like. So it's not super busy night for Boise approach. The Fiero. So I knew a guy that had a Fiero once, and we were riding a lot. We went to get something, I don't know. So I rode in a Fiero, and man, that car was not fantastic at all. But it was an automatic, first of all, which is fantastic as well. To backpedal just a little bit, a few months prior to my ride in a Fiero, I had a Mercury Sable that threw a transmission while I was driving it. And I remembered that when the Mercury Sable threw the transmission, one of the things that happened is when it would shift, it would go, and you kind of feel this punch as it shifted gears. And of course, me being a naive college or high school student, I didn't know what that really meant. So I'm riding around in Buddy's Fiero, and every time it shifts, it kind of like it sort of kicks you a little bit. And especially happens, I think it was like third gear where it was really happening. And I'm like, dude, maybe you want to get your transmission looked at, man, because that's like, I don't think that's supposed to be normal. And he's like, dude, it's fine. It's the shift kick. I'm like, okay, whatever you say, man. So to this day, I'm not actually sure if a Fiero actually has a shift kick or if his transmission was on its way out. I'm going to go with probably the transmission was dying, though. But I'm not a car guy, so I really don't know. Spark Smudge, what's going on, man? It's good to see you, dude. Did you get your internet back? Has been a long time. And maybe after, like, this was like 10, this is probably like, oh my God, this is probably like 15 years ago. So maybe 15 years later, somebody will tell me that a Fiero has a shift kick and it wasn't actually his transmission going. I don't know. That car sucked, though. It was real bad. He put a custom stereo system in that thing, and he had a tweeter that was sitting at friggin' ear level for me. So he had two tweeters, like, right here in the car. He's a little short guy. Two tweeters right here, and they were, I swear to God, they were pointed right at my eardrums. So all I'm riding around in this godforsaken car, two-seater.
Turn right 250 vector sequencing.
250-401
I'm in this two-seater car, not super comfortable, and I've got these tweeters that are just blasting.
7 Tango Sierra, do you have the airport in sight?
Affirmative, 7 Tango Sierra.
7 Tango Sierra, continue straight in, contact Boise Tower 118.1.
Straight in over to Boise Tower, 717 Tango Sierra.
November 401 Tango Sierra, do you have the field in sight?
18-1.
Affirmative, 1 Tango Sierra has the field.
1 Tango Sierra, roger. They'll give you sequencing instructions, contact Boise Tower 118.1.
Boise Tower, Sundowner 717 Tango Sierra, 7 miles northeast, full stop.
November 717 Tango Sierra, Boise Tower, wind 120 at 10 runway 10 left, clear to launch.
Good land, 10 left, 717 Tango Sierra. Cool.
Boise Tower, Cherokee 401 Tango Sierra on a 250 heading
controller change
VFR
there.
and down to land.
How'd you fit, Fiero? It was tight. It was not a good fit. So yeah, they had these tweeters that were just like blasting this crappy, just the high parts of the music, just the high parts. Not the,
November 401 Tango Sierra, Boise
man.
Tower, roger.
This was in
You'll be
northeastern
following
Indiana.
a Sundowner, there about 6.5 north east of Boise right now.
The northeast Indiana, that should tell you. That should tell you a lot.
Negative traffic in sight for 1 Tango Sierra.
Tying a Fiero is about the same as fitting in a Mooney. Keith
Roger.
was telling me I should look into a Mooney.
Stay on
I'm like, Keith, I'm not entirely sure I'm going to fit in a Mooney.
Actually, you know what? You can turn base now.
Alright, turning base 401 Tango Sierra.
All right, 10 left. We'll exit to the left here. Just make it easy for him.
November 11 Sierra Tango, go ahead.
Field elevation 2875. Jameson. We haven't had Jameson for a while for a controller.
Number 11 Sierra Tango, Big Sky approach, squawk 37.
Saw Fiero with a small block V8. That was terrifying. Holy cow, dude. There's a tower south of the field. It's not in use. It was built but never actually set up. Was Boise supposed to be busy and then suddenly get not busy? That happened in like Pittsburgh, I think. Somebody was telling me like the field was supposed to get busy or was busy at one point and then suddenly wasn't because they lost their airline or something. Right, other side of this highway, I think. I'll pretty much just go straight for the numbers here.
November 11 Sierra Tango, radar contact 16 miles north of the Boise Airport. And you wanted a full stop
we're
at
about
Boise.
1,000 feet above.
No one Sierra Tango,
Technicality,
roger.
buy the Mooney and then try to make yourself fit in it. Guy around here had a Fiero with a Ferrari-like body kit on it. Oh, it doesn't surprise me, yeah. I mean, that's the whole point of the Fiero, is it was playing on the fact that it sort of looked like a Ferrari. Bots, a Celtics fan, good to see you, my friend. Guitar Picker 7, welcome aboard.
November 1 Tango Sierra. The Sundowner's about a 2-mile final for the left side. Do you have them in sight?
1 Tango Sierra, we have the traffic in sight.
November 1
doesn't.
Tango Sierra, roger. Number 2, clear to land 10 left.
Number 2, clear to land 10 left, 401 Tango
Had a
Sierra.
teacher with a Fiero that was a turbocharged with nitrous. I'm sure this will shock everyone, but I threw a rod.
November 11 Sierra Tango, do you have the Boise Airport site?
Artists and Simulations had a AMC Gremlin in high school. Also fantastic.
500.
500's checked. All right, we'll go audio up here.
Short final runway 10 left.
Noted.
Last aircraft calling, say again. 10 Tango, thanks, contact.
It's my approach.
Boise Tower 18.1.
Okay. Gear down welded. Lights are set. Mixture's full. Let's go land.
Boise Tower, Warrior 110 Tango.
Got my aiming point.
13 miles north. Full stop for Charlie.
Charlie.
Over 110 Tango, Boise Tower. Your base, clean on the base, so join the base and report final.
Go for the base and report final. 10 Tango.
How about that? Boise Tower, Sundowner 717 Tango Sierra is clear of runway 10 left. Let's just go straight ahead to Jet Center.
Number 7 Tango Sierra, straight ahead to the ramp. Good night.
7 Tango Sierra, we'll see you later. Smooth. Oh. Oh. Sounds are so good in this airplane, dude. You guys did great with that. Holy cow. What gets me excited about an airplane, guys? Everybody knows this. It's the sounds. How about them apples? Oh. The flight was logged with the system calculated fuel consumption. It didn't let me log my flight. FS Economy said nope. Because we didn't burn enough fuel. We should have burned like 7.5 gallons. I think we only burned like 2 or 3. It said, nah, you can't do that. That's a bummer. Oh, well. All right. Now we know. Can't fly this in FS Economy. All right. Who's next? Anybody else coming in? It seems we lost our diamond. So it's just Anthrax there coming up at the end. Bringing up the rear. Yeah, so I don't know if that's the experimental flight model doing that. And also, I was using, so in FS Economy, I was using an Archer for this. But an Archer is also a 180 horsepower engine, so the fuel burn should be roughly the same. Yeah, they didn't actually have a Sundowner in there. But if I look at my fuel... Yeah, according to the tanks here, we burned 1 gallon of gas. Because I started with... Or, sorry, we burned 3 gallons of fuel. Because I started with 18 aside, 36. We filled it to the tabs. And, yeah, only show 3 gallons burned on the left side, which that was about a 45-minute long flight, so we probably should have burned closer to 7 to 8 gallons, is my guess. But, yeah, it's good, man. It's fantastic. I like this airplane. Anthrax, I'm sorry that we're not going to see your landing.
Disconnected.
Maybe when I do my replays and whatnot, you'll still be taxiing in. Go watch the replay.
Traffic, 11 o'clock, half mile, same altitude.
No, it's not. Oh, yeah. Right where I aimed her. I will take that. Oh, yeah. Center line for the win. Center line and hit the 1,000-foot markers. Good little airplane. I like it. Lost the center line once I started braking, but that's explained for you. It's good tire sound too. All right. I see that, Anthrax. I'll connect real quick. Greasy enough that it's a see-through. I like it. Who's got like butter? SimCAE. I don't know who that is. Well, I like this plane. We'll be flying it again for sure. You guys did a good job on the update. Fantastic job. I suspect that there was probably more than just an update to this. Knowing what I know about building what little I know about building airplanes and stuff here. So we'll go see if Mr. Anthrax comes in here. Just keep our eyes open for him here. Yeah. I want to thank you guys all for coming out tonight. It's gonna be just shorter stream tonight, just because it is. We'll be doing some sort of airliner again on Friday. I kind of want to do the Tolus with the new Blue Sky Star sounds, so we may go do that. But we'll be jumping back into like a proper airliner again. I gotta go revisit the flight factor stuff as well, so we shall see. I wanted to fly the 748. Like, what would it be? How bad would it be if I flew the 748 version 1? I probably won't do that, but yeah. So thank you guys all very much again. It was fantastic tonight. Let's see who we can go bug. I don't even know who's live on a Monday evening. Moon still going. This Boomer Week intermission. Nico's live. We can go say hi to him. Most other people I have no idea about. You guys know any of these folks? I don't know any of these guys. All right, this guy says not a pro. He's flying Boston to Nantucket and there's nobody watching him. He's flying VFR. Is he speaking English?
We do. Yeah.
We're gonna go. I don't know who this guy is, but we're gonna go raid him. Kujis. So he's got 20 views. I suspect this might be one of his very first nights ever, one of his early nights streaming. So we'll go say hi to him. Folks, have a great night. Have a great week. We will see you all